Hello and welcome to the final countdown, a special show in the lead up to the exit polls and the final verdict of the 2024 general elections. We will be analyzing key states that will decide who will rule from Raisina Hills. We'll start off from the country's capital, Delhi. The city-state only has 7 constituencies but is worth its weight in gold. An elected representative from Delhi is always under the spotlight. From Gautam Gambhir to Kapil Sibal, the prestige factor has trumped any electoral value of the city-state. So what does Delhi's electoral battleground look like? Take a look.
National capital Delhi is a crucial political battleground for India's parties. It sends 7 parliamentarians to the Lok Sabha. Delhi's 7 constituencies, Northeast Delhi, Northwest Delhi, West Delhi, New Delhi, South Delhi, East Delhi and Chandni Chowk will see 1.43 crore voters eligible to cast their vote in 2024. In the past 3 general elections, Delhi has witnessed a significant increase in voter turnout. In 2019, the overall voting percentage was 60.21%. The highest turnout was in Northwest Delhi, where 63.45% voters cast their ballot. In the 2019 and 2014 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP won all 7 seats. In the 2009 Lok Sabha elections, the Congress won all 7 seats. The Delhi Lok Sabha contest is a 2-corner fight between the BJP and the Congress-AAP alliance. Under a seat-sharing arrangement, the Congress has fielded candidates from 3 of the 7 seats. The AAP is contesting the remaining 4. While the BJP is confident of retaining all 7 seats, its principal rival AAP will be banking on its local connect. With a large electorate and diverse constituencies, the battle for Delhi in 2024 could spring some surprises.
Now let us take a big bird-eye view of the 2014 and 2019 results and vote share and how the winner of Delhi is the eventual winner of parliamentary elections. And when we compare 2015 and 2020 assembly elections, we'll tell you why they were similar in nature but different in template. Now if you look at the data, the percentage, BJP won 7 seats, got 46.60%. AAP won none and got 33.10. Indian National Congress, 0, 15.20%. So that's the vote percentage, and we are talking Lok Sabha. It flipped when it came to the assembly. It completely flipped. So on this, let me ask a question to Brijesh. Brijesh, when we talk about 46.60, it is a huge lead. It is a big lead. Even if there is an erosion, it has to be a spectacular erosion for the common candidate to win.
Well, it has to be, but situation right now is slightly different. What we are looking at is pure arithmetic, but we are ignoring the most important branch of science which will play the most crucial role in this election, which is chemistry. Will Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, which is fighting the election together, will they have the requisite chemistry to trump the arithmetic which is heavily in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party? If Aam Aadmi Party and Congress cadre shows unison, which the Congress Party as well as Arvind Kejriwal would want to, because his very survival is at stake. If they are able to do it, then the situation is not going to be 7-0 as far as 2024 election is concerned. But if they are not able to get that chemistry crackling on the ground, which sees that that you have the Congress voters as well as the Aam Aadmi Party voter getting out in the numbers and casting their vote in favor of that candidate, then I don't think that that the BJP faces any problem. It's going to be a 7-0 repeat again.
Now if we look at the results of 2014 and let's go to the 2019, because there is a decisive difference. The poll campaigns were different, but Bharatiya Janata Party was winning 7 seats with 57% votes. You see, they jumped. And if you look at the Aam Aadmi Party, the vote percentage came down. And if you look at Indian National Congress, it still did better. It put up a better show. So the larger issue is that the vote share of the Bharatiya Janata Party has gone up. If I put 22 with 18, it makes 40, Ajit. Even then it makes 40% of the vote. It's 40% equal fighting the 56.90%. So do you think that the AAM and INC can actually make up for this number, or the electoral arithmetic is independent of this?
No, I think the arithmetic of 2019 will largely stay also in 2024. You might actually end up seeing a 7-seat sweep by the BJP. The reason being, look at also the victory margins. The victory margins of each of these seats are like 5.75 lakhs, 5.6 lakhs. Even in northeast Delhi, you had something like 3.38 lakhs victory margin. So these victory margins might come down given the fact that there is going to be both the sort of votes of Congress and AAP will come together. But as we see arithmetically, even if they were to come, the victory margins were so large that there is no way they will be able to beat. They'll be able to beat the BJP.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. Verma. Sir, when it comes to waves or a waveless election, both political analysts and psephologists rolled into one. When Janata Party was fighting Indira Gandhi, they were able to jump number of digits and they could defeat Indira Gandhi. When VP Singh in 1985 was fighting Rajiv Gandhi, ye Raja nahi fakir hai, desh ki takdeer hai, he was able to take on the might of the Rajiv Gandhi government, which means that the people can vote you in larger numbers if they want a change. So I don't know whether this election is a waveless election, as a wave election or a Modi election. To put it simply, there are capacity for people to outvote an regime which is sitting pretty with a hegemonic number which is like 57%, more than half, sir.
Kartikeya, the answer lies in your question itself, because you said that there has to be a person around whom the entire electorate can revolve and outthrow the government. But in this election, do you really see any such personality who is where the electorate can feel that they are, comfortable with the leadership structure? So this is the one problem that I notice, and therefore,
Mr. Verma, I must add one thing. In my Boston PhD, I had taken oral narratives. I will not name journalists and politicians and people who were arrested between 75 and 77. And I must put it on record. All of them told me they were expecting Indira Gandhi to win. They had no faith in themselves that they would defeat Indira Gandhi in 1977. The leaders themselves didn't have faith in JP.
1977 was a very unique election, I was just out from my university graduation, post-graduation, and I was a party to the whole, drama over there, and I very vividly remember that 1977 was a very unique election, and you can't compare that election with any other election happening right now in India.
Fair enough.
But the question is the question that you have raised is, it requires us to a little bit, go into the numbers that you have displayed on your screen. You will be surprised to see that there is a pattern in the voting percentages. And as I was looking at the numbers, I find that around 35 to 36% people are voting very tactically for the Delhi polls, And the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, they both have to worry about this 35-36% number. Because if you see, the Aam Aadmi Party, it gained around 20% in 2015 elections over the Lok Sabha election 2014. And then when it came to 2020, then it gained 35% over the previous Lok Sabha poll. But whenever it comes to the Lok Sabha poll, the Delhi voter is overwhelmingly with the BJP and not with the Aam Aadmi Party. So this 36% tactical, matadata, tactical voters, they are pretty sure that the central government, which is being led by Narendra Modi, has to have the Prime Minister, very much intact in the place. And therefore, to my mind, they are not going to vote out the BJP from power this time.
Okay, so
So
basically
far
you're
as
saying that
Delhi
the
is
BJP is
concerned,
not
so
going
far
to
as
go out
Delhi
of
is
power. Jayanto, do you think that this vote is tied to Prime Minister Modi, or does it belong to the Sangathan? Sangh or Bhajpa?
To answer that question, it is the BJP and Narendra Modi. That is what has been happening, not now, but it has been happening earlier also. We know many of the issues and the stories that are behind answers that question that you have put forward to me. And in the case that you have been showing these data and you have been talking to the other guests, you know, Kartikeya, I always take Delhi as an example how parliamentary polls are very different from assembly elections and how it is not the motivated or the hardcore followers of a particular party who goes out to vote and elect their representative. And that is very clear from the results that you are showing in Delhi, that is both assembly as well as the Lok Sabha elections. Now, talking about the opposition alliance, which the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress has entered into Delhi and Haryana, not in Punjab, and incidentally, Haryana and Delhi goes to poll on the same day. Now, if you see the what has happened earlier, let's say, for example, Samajwadi Party and the Congress, I think it was about 7 years ago that they had come together to try and stop the BJP juggernaut. And you see what the results were. They could hardly not stop it, rather they kind of could not save their own house. Similarly, if you see in West Bengal, earlier also, I won't go into the past, if you see in the later stages in recent times, when the Congress and the left, they came together, they were not really able to challenge the Trinamool. What we found in both cases is that when the opposition parties, they come together, who were earlier opposing each other, and especially if one was in the seat of, in government, then there is a tendency that the party which was in opposition earlier the vote will not transfer to the party that was in government and now has held hands together to fight against a common enemy. What I mean here is that how far will the Congress votes, which have always been opposed to the Aam Aadmi Party, even the formation here in Delhi, how much of their followers, their supporters will vote for the Aam Aadmi Party candidate and vice versa.
Okay. We can talk about Prime Minister Modi at length, but Delhi is also about Kejriwal. We have to give it to Kejriwal that he has been Chief Minister for more than a decade. So he simply does something at the level of the assembly election that he gets elected back. So, yeah, well, that's the other side of the coin. So, my question to Brijesh is, Arvind Kejriwal is fighting a battle of his life, his political career, his reputation.
His very survival.
And his very survival hinges on, more than quotes, public perception that he is not corrupt. Today, the top echelons of AAP are facing charges of corruption. In this context, do you think, will it work for Kejriwal or work against Kejriwal? Let me complete. Will it generate sympathy or will it come down to that simple phrase in Hindi? अब ऊंट पहाड़ के नीचे आया.
Well, Kartikeya, I would start by saying that I don't believe and I don't feel that the Delhi liquor scam case is going to have any kind of political impact on who Arvind Kejriwal is. I think Swati Maliwal case is far more damaging in my eyes than Delhi liquor scam cases. Second is, I think, this time Arvind Kejriwal realizes that the kind of crescendo he has built with his politics by winning or defeating Bharatiya Janata Party 63-7 and 67-3, which was completely unheard of phenomena, he is fighting the battle of his life. The reason why I'm saying he's fighting the battle of his life is, and that is the reason why he chose to do something which Arvind Kejriwal has not done in his 10 plus years of politics, shake hands with the Congress party. He's a ruthless operator, absolutely ruthless to the level of Prime Minister Narendra Modi when it comes to where your interest lies and where your interest doesn't lie. In Punjab, he did not cede an inch to the Congress party. In Delhi, he has done that. He knows he knows for sure that they are not going to win 7-0 or 4-3. But what he is looking for is 2-5. If they are able to bridge, if they are able to dent the bastion of Bharatiya Janata Party, if they are able to win 1 or 2 seats, I think there will be a strong message sent that Arvind Kejriwal has gained acceptance and he has been able to bridge, dent the citadel or the fort of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Ajit, do you think that this will work for Kejriwal or work against Kejriwal?
I tend to agree with Brijesh that the corruption cases in which he was arrested actually ended up getting him a lot of public sympathy. And the reason was this entire thing that when, corrupt leaders joined the BJP, they were like people like Ajit Pawar and others, then, they were not considered untouchable. Whereas when it came to Arvind Kejriwal, he was arrested, and he was arrested and kept inside, and the ED could not come up with convincing evidence until now, right?
Okay.
Even for the other AAP leaders. But the Swati Maliwal case has kind of put him in the dock. See, Arvind Kejriwal in many ways has a lot of strength. AAP is a startup party of India. He attracted the entire sort of brilliant students from all around the universities, people like Yogendra Yadav and others had joined him. A lot of the NRIs were actually funding him. He's himself from IIT, he was a government officer, he had won awards. But the thing is, there is a trajectory of all politicians. Arvind Kejriwal had his 10 years. At this moment, he's standing on a precipice. It's pure game of survival.
Okay.
Will he be able to come out of it? That is something that both the Lok Sabha and the Assembly elections later
A lot of
will
people
show.
would say that, in Delhi, the candidates don't matter. Actually, in Delhi, the Prime Minister matters, or the sentiment against the Prime Minister matters, or Kejriwal matters, or the sentiment against Kejriwal matters. So let's take a look at the constituency profiles. Let's put up that data on screen. So 2019, 2014 and 2009, these are the years of elections. So the constituency-wise vote share, New Delhi, 55, 46, 35. Indian National Congress 2009, 59.6. I can't believe this is 60%. 18.9, 27, and Aam Aadmi Party. Well, so this is New Delhi. So let's change. And then Northeast. In Northeast, 54%, 29%, 13%, 45, 16, 34%. So BJP in 2019 was 50% plus. 50% plus. Let's move forward. Northwest Delhi, 60%. 17 plus 21, 60%. Let's move forward. So it's like 50 and 60% and 60%. Again in West Delhi. So this is pure data we are putting on your screen. Pure data. And you can see how other political parties and processes have devalued themselves in terms of numbers. Because the God lies in data, that's what I believe. And 56.8%, 13%, 26%. 2014, and I think what has happened is that the Congress is out of picture because Aam Aadmi Party took the juice out of them, and they did not have the enough core weight to build a politics around. That is why it is stuck at 13.6 or 20% somewhere. And then East Delhi, 55.5, 24 and 17.5. And the last one, Chandni Chowk, 53.2, 29.9, 14.8. In 2014, it was 44.8, 18 and 30.9. So this is the big picture. Data does not lie. They can give a good fight, but the fight is showing that the BJP is way ahead. It means it requires some sort of a wave to breach these numbers. Let me play out another part of the data. The people who are fighting. Praveen Khandelwal versus JP, the old stalwart. The poor gentleman had to run back to Delhi because Kamal Nath didn't want him there. So finally he has been, given some position here. And in East Delhi, it is Harsh Malhotra versus Kuldeep Kumar. I don't know what sort of a fight that will be, but then nonetheless, Modi matters. And Masuri Swaraj, life has come a full circle. It's a different debate. And Somnath Bharti. Two people known all across NCR. Manoj Tiwari and Kanhaiya Kumar. This is the star, I would say. This is the star contest. Even Rahul Gandhi campaigned for him in a metro. So Kanhaiya Kumar tells you the leftward shift of the Congress party, And then Yogen Chandolia versus Udit Raj. Udit Raj is also a reflection of how Congress is sapping from the left and the Ambedkarite streams under Rahul Gandhi. And then West Delhi, Kamaljeet Sehrawat and Mahabal Mishra. Mahabal Mishra, old Congress face. Any Delhi party wouldn't have been complete without Mr. Mishra. But now, Mr. Mishra is in Aam Aadmi party. Well, that's life. And the last one is Mr. Biduri versus Mr. Pahalwan. Again, it's BJP and AAP. So, Mr. Verma, I have given a basic profile of the seats. We have given basic profile of the candidates. I think numbers are pretty clear, sir. When it comes to BJP, in Lok Sabha election, it is 50 and 60% plus. So, the breach requires a wave. So, the question is, do you see a wave in Delhi?
No, the question is not of wave or no wave. If you look at the elections in Delhi right from 2014, 2019, you find a tendency. 2014 and 2019, if you agree that there was a wave, then it's fine. But if you consider it a normal election, then of course there is a people in Delhi are very mature. The Matdata there knows that who is needed to run the central government, and that's why there is a huge shift. I mean, this is absolute, amazing shift in the assembly's polls when 35-36% voters of BJP, they shift to Aam Aadmi party. So wave or no wave, I think the mature voters of Delhi, they are very much focused on the national government. That is one. And the second thing that you raised a question that whether the results of this parliamentary election will absolve Arvind Kejriwal of the charges of corruption, I think you will have to wait for the next year assembly election, because this is the mindset of Delhi voter to bring the BJP and the central government should stay in place. But if Arvind Kejriwal is able to replicate his assembly performance, then certainly I would be willing to believe that the people of Delhi, in their perception,
Mr. Verma, I would like your comment on this. If you look at the 2004 results of Lok Sabha, Congress did well, formed the government in centre. 2009 they did well, they had the government at centre. Modi has done exceedingly well in 2014-19. They have the government in centre. Is there some sort of a psychological correlation of doing well in Delhi and Raisina under your control?
It's not just a psychological correlation about Delhi. The Indian electorate, we have to understand, has matured a little bit, and there is an understanding that how the government is functioning. And I will give you an example from Uttar Pradesh, that in Uttar Pradesh we have been seeing that the voters, they have been changing the government if they are not performing. Mayawati was changed in 2012, Akhilesh was changed in 2017. But come to 2017, and the voters saw that the law and order, which used to be the maximum notorious nuisance element in Uttar Pradesh, there was a government which was performing high-handedly or whatever. But the people were feeling relaxed. In the same way, they repeated the incumbent government. In the same way, the people of Delhi are very mature, because Delhi is the capital of many things which are on the peripheral, electorate. They do not know. The Delhi electorate knows it very well, and therefore, I think that performance matters a lot in Delhi. And so far as the national government is concerned, the Delhi voters are pretty sure that they probably don't need to change the incumbent government right now.
Okay, Jayanta, before I play out a couple of bites which I have, I mean, so when you look at the data, it looks as if there is no fight, but sometimes you have got results which have been surprising. People lose elections. Rahul Gandhi was a sort of a surprise loss. No one thought that Jyotiraditya Scindia would lose his seat in 2019 election, or Ashok Chavan would lose. So, you know, the bastions were lost. So, with this data, do you agree that it's a no-fight election, at least in Delhi? You know, even if you put their numbers together, they are not able to cross 50%. And there are two constituencies which have 60% of vote going in favor of Bharatiya Janata Party. 6-0.
Therein lies the answer, Kartikeya. If you see the data that you have been showing, if you see 2009 and 2019, then how the mandate has totally shifted towards the other side. So at this point of time, when 2024 elections are being held, given the coming together of the opposition, that is the INDIA alliance, and on the other side, the face of Modi, I agree with you that it's all about the face of Modi that we are seeing, and we have seen, and we are going to see in this particular elections. So whether it will be a total whitewash as it was earlier or not, that we'll have to wait and see. Because as you rightly pointed out, with particularly some constituencies, I should say one particular constituency, I think that's the Northeast Delhi, there it can be quite a close fight. As you rightly mentioned, that Rahul Gandhi had been campaigning for Kanhaiya Kumar, and so has Arvind Kejriwal, in fact. So there is a lot of hope that the alliance is putting on Kanhaiya Kumar. So there, and of course, there is another factor also. You have to remember, just about 4 years back, there were riots in that particular constituency, and I have been there few times rather.
Okay.
And see the polarization that is still over there.
You know, but you know, that's going to be a second part of our conversation. You know, when we talk about Delhi, it's a unique state. You know, multiple issues are important, but there are some issues, despite being important for everyone in this room, they don't become issues. But before I go to that part, that segment, let me play out a couple of reactions.
When we talk about the Northeast Delhi, people has been saying that I am member of Parliament, Sri Manoj Tiwari. He has been not doing anything here, and even he is not available. He is not accessible to the common citizen, common people. So they are very annoyed. They are very angry, and there is huge anti-incumbency. They want change here in Northeast Delhi, and they want some solution about the traffic jam and the law and order problem, the pickpocketing problem, the crime against women. So these are the serious concerns Congress Party and India Alliance has been raising, and you can see the alliance has already worked out on ground. People are very happy, and they are coming out in large numbers. So we are hoping positive result from here. Before the Lok Sabha election, BJP lost here assembly election. After Lok Sabha election, there was a MCD election. Then again, BJP lost that election. So in Delhi, when you will talk about the vote share, it is not constant. It has been changing. In 2009, Congress got 64%.
मनोज जी, आप यहाँ पर आए हैं और आपने कहा कि आप 14 बार आए हैं यहाँ पर इससे पहले, लेकिन कन्हैया कुमार जी से जब हमने बात की तो कहते हैं कि मनोज तिवारी जी आते नहीं हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में।
नहीं, उनको वो यहाँ से अवेयर थोड़ी है, वो तो टूरिस्ट है। 40 दिन के टूर पे आए हैं, 5 जून के बाद यहाँ दिखेंगे नहीं। 2019 30 मई के बाद बेगूसराय नहीं दिखे, और बेगूसराय में उनके पोस्टर लगाए जाते हैं लापता के। 5 जून के बाद यहाँ से भी गायब रहेंगे।
कन्हैया कुमार जी की बात हो ही रही थी तो एक बात और हम कर लेते हैं सर। एक तो उनका कहना था कि उनको जो पिटवाया गया वो बीजेपी की तरफ से पिटवाया गया, और साथ ही में ये भी उनका कहना है कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी में आप 2 बार जीत चुके हैं, इस बार एंटी इनकम्बेंसी।
आपको देखिए ना, हम गली में एक छोटा सा कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं और लोग घरों से निकल कर के बैठे हैं। हम आपके सामने भाषण दे रहे थे, लोग बीच बीच में तालियां बजा रहे थे। एंटी इनकम्बेंसी उसके प्रति है जिसका कैंडिडेट बन के कन्हैया कुमार जी आए। हमारी एंटी इनकम्बेंसी होगी क्या जो हमारी सरकारी नहीं थी दिल्ली में?
You as a candidate have replaced Meenakshi Lekhi ji, so there must be a lot of expectations from you.
I have not replaced anybody.
As a candidate.
No, I have not replaced anybody because a seat is never permanent. And in our party, I'll tell you, ticket katte nahi hai, ticket diye jate hain. There's a difference. And a ticket is not a reward, it's a responsibility. One, if a responsibility is bestowed on you, then you discharge it to the best of your ability. If the baton is passed on to someone else, then you guide them and bless them to sort of discharge the new responsibility to best of their ability. And that's all that has happened.
A megacity like Delhi has its unique set of challenges. Pollution, water, price rise. While these are the issues which elections should witness getting turbocharged, but they are relegated to the sidelines. You have issues of corruption, you have issues of freebies. Have a look at this report.
Delhi's air quality makes living here similar to breathing in a gas chamber. The polluted Yamuna is a toxic drain staring at the face of the national capital. Garbage mountains at Balswa, Ghazipur and Okhla underscore the political apathy towards citizens. Unfortunately, none of these issues are a priority in these general elections. AAP has a strong voter base in slums. It has hijacked the minority vote from the Congress. The city's underprivileged have preferred AAP over other parties in assembly elections. AAP's freebies have benefited the marginalized population of the capital. But can it swing votes for the party in a national election? Its image as a clean party has recently taken a beating. The recent alleged assault on Swati Maliwal, AAP's Rajya Sabha MP, may affect its women voters. The BJP has been consistently raking up corruption allegations against the AAP, including the now scrapped excise policy and 10 other alleged scams. The BJP is also focusing on the regularization of unauthorized colonies and highlighting the centre's Delhi-specific projects to woo voters. The AAP and Congress alliance is countering Modi ki guarantee with 5 Nyay and Kejriwal ki 10 guarantee. Water shortage, poor drainage, crime and chaotic traffic are pressing issues in Delhi. Shortage of parking space and rehabilitation of unauthorized colonies may also play a role in deciding the fate of the candidates. The Delhi Lok Sabha elections are often influenced by both local and national concerns. Voters weigh the performance of both state and central governments as well as the promises and capabilities of candidates and parties. Will the BJP again sweep in the battle for Delhi? Or can the AAP Congress combine dent this record?
Now, coming to you, Brijesh. In Delhi, national issues resonate. Delhi is a city-state. Or I can say the government has turned Delhi into a city-state. No pun intended. But the civic issues don't resonate. And those are the issues we actually talk all through the year. Parali, water, electricity, congestion, roads, school admissions, greenery, garbage disposal system, but they really don't make an issue. Why?
Well, I think, this cuts across all the country. I mean, if you're voting for, better infrastructure, a better set of policing, a better set of environment for our kids to play in, I think people would be voting for that. People don't vote for that. Or at least a sizable section don't vote for that. And that is the reason why, developmental plan usually never takes off. Some way or another, either a surgical strike or a communal situation that decides that helps the consolidation or counter consolidation. And that helps people vote. Most of the issues which you talk about, Kartikeya, are the issues which will find resonance in the assembly election, but they will not find resonance right now at the national election. And right now, when we talk about Delhi, there are only two things which are fighting. Will Modi make sure that it gets 7-0, or will Arvind Kejriwal be able to make a dent? how important Prime Minister is, I'll just take 30 seconds of yours, how important Prime Minister Narendra Modi is can be gauged from the fact that when Arvind Kejriwal came out of the jail, you know what was the first press conference? He said, I just want to tell you that Modi is here only till middle next year. So please don't vote for the BJP. It is Amit Shah who is going to become the Prime Minister after that. So you know, he is also acutely aware of the popularity of Prime Minister. That is why this particular line riled BJP so much that you have right from Amit Shah downwards, you know, 10 cabinet ministers coming out and explaining that no, this is not what is going to happen.
Modi ji ko chautha term bhi de diya.
Modi ji ko तीसरा term तो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा.
Okay, Ajit, you have reported from the west coast of the United States of America. You were stationed in LA for an English news magazine a couple of years ago. In America, elections in cities are about cities. How come in India elections in cities are never about cities?
For two reasons. One main reason, what Brijesh pointed out. Remember, this is the Lok Sabha election. It's not an assembly election. Okay. So similarly in the US, during the presidential election somehow, the local issues are not very important. What is more important are the national issues, right? But the other reason is because the West, because of its development, has entered what we call a post-industrial society, where the problems of industrialization become an issue, whereas we are a developing country where we need to industrialize, right? Prime Minister Modi said that if he comes back to power next time, manufacturing will be the main emphasis. But I wanted to make another point, Kartikeya, and that is, even if the arithmetic shows in Delhi elections, as you pointed out, 60%, 50%, all advantage to the BJP, but look at the puzzle. What the BJP leaders did, they did not give ticket to 6 of their incumbents. The only incumbent, Manoj Tiwari, is the one given the ticket for the 3rd time. And maybe that is the reason why that particular constituency, of course also because it has Kanhaiya Kumar, who is a great speaker, who is very close to Rahul Gandhi. In Dilshad Garden, Kanhaiya Kumar made this extraordinary speech where he said, last 10 years, Mr. Modi has not visited Trans Yamuna. He made, a national call. For the first time, he has come to campaign for Manoj Tiwari. So what I'm saying is that the BJP leaders, they were very careful. The moment they realized that AAP and Congress is coming together, when two parties come together, usually the support base moves geometrically, harmonically, not only arithmetically. So they are aware of the threat that might happen, especially if the agenda goes in the hands of the India bloc. So they are very, very aware of that, and that's why they removed. Otherwise, think of it. Why would people change 6 of their MPs who won with 6 lakh vote, 5 lakh vote? So they are already aware of what they might face. So this might become a more competitive election, but as arithmetic shows and as Mr. Modi's popularity shows in the Lok Sabha, that they are going to sweep it. But I would say, I would also question that particular northeast Delhi, where Manoj Tiwari has been MP twice, and it depends on how much work he has done for the constituency. But Kanhaiya Kumar emphasizes that he has done almost nothing. And in fact, in his emphasis, Kanhaiya Kumar raised in Dilshad Garden speech all the local issues. That's what he has been raising.
That's very interesting, but it's time for another report. AAP entered the political arena as sworn enemies of the Congress. The Congress government was brought down, but a decade later, the two parties have joined hands to take on a bigger foe. We bring you this report on how the Bharatiya Janata Party has emerged as their common enemy.
The Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, sworn enemies till the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, have joined hands to take on the BJP this year. After a decade-long bitter rivalry, they are presenting a united challenge to the BJP. Led by Arvind Kejriwal, AAP has eaten into the voter base of the Congress. With this, they won power in the capital, once the fortress of the grand old party. The Congress has a history of allying with parties that have been its nemesis. The last-minute alliance between the AAP and Congress in 2024 upset many. Senior leaders of the Congress's Delhi unit, including President Arvinder Singh Lovely, quit the party and joined the BJP. The BJP swept the Lok Sabha polls in Delhi in 2014 and 2019. The Congress doesn't have the grassroots strength that the BJP and AAP boast. Its alliance with the AAP may offer some semblance of a fight in the battle for Delhi.
So there are three things here. Mr. Verma, the question is for you. Is Muslim consolidation going to make any difference in Delhi this time? And do you think that Mr. Kejriwal is in the same position which more than a decade back late Sheila ji was?
The kind of this character the campaign is acquiring gradually, I suspect that the narrative has broadly come to be focused on communal lines. But at the same time, I also feel that the consolidation was already there and there cannot be any further consolidation. But I disagree with what Ajit was saying right now. And he said that whenever there is a coalition, there is a jump in the rank and file also support system. At least the UP experiment doesn't prove it. When UP ke do ladke came, there wasn't any transfer to each other. When Babua and Bua came, there wasn't any transfer of vote shares. So I am inclined to believe that the kind of bonhomie that we see in AAP and Congress in Delhi, I suspect that the rank and file probably they will not come to each other. And because the suspicions are very deep, in the neighborhood you are fighting each other, and in Delhi you say that we are together. So it is taking just like taking the your support system for granted. That is one. And the second thing which I want to make here a point is that the capability of leaders to get their votes transferred is also very important. Mayawati was once credited to have this capability of getting her votes transferred to any party which she desired. But of late, that is on the decline because of certain other factors which are coming up, the inclusive politics, the assimilation of Dalits and OBC by the BJP government. In the same way, the kind of, capability that the Congress leadership has in Delhi to get its vote share transferred to the AAP, I suspect Congress people can vote the Congress, but to get the votes transferred, and they have a very bigger vote share, 2 point something in, they have a vote share of 4.26 in 2020 assembly elections and 7.36% vote share in 2019 assembly elections. So a party with a very meager vote share, I suspect that they would be able to transfer their votes, and they already have a very low vote share. But certainly, of course, we cannot say that no slice of the Congress vote can move to the AAP party. Certainly, they will move. But the kind of differential that is there, the kind of victory margins are there, that is amazing. The only thing that is troubling me is the BJP's strategy of changing its all 6 MPs in Delhi and retaining only 1. So that's a red signal for the BJP that there is something fishy, there is something undercurrent going on, which the party has probably been able to and quick to understand. But then I think the people of Delhi, as far as I understand, they would probably like the central government to come.
Okay, fair enough. Jayanta, do you think that corruption is an issue in the Lok Sabha elections in Delhi? If I treat Delhi slightly different from Western Uttar Pradesh or Haryana or Rajasthan, because it's an NCR era, because BJP is trying to push corruption as a powerful narrative in Delhi, and when it comes to Kejriwal, he's trying to push the narrative of a martyr कि अगर मैं गया तो मेरे बाद बाकी मुख्यमंत्री भी चले जाएंगे और फिर मुख्यमंत्री विपक्ष के मुख्यमंत्री less क्या बोलते हैं the Indian federal structure would look like, that's what he said in his latest interview. So do you think that issue of corruption, is it sticking to Kejriwal?
I personally doubt that.
Or is it like the egg on your Teflon pan?
Non-stick.
Non-stick.
I have been speaking to people. It is indeed a non-stick pan. The reason, but here I must add that if Kejriwal thought that he would be trying to shake that off and portray himself as a martyr, which he has said that in subsequent interviews, the point that you made just now, that how the other chief ministers, non-BJP chief ministers will be hounded and how the federal structure will be destroyed, etc., etc. I think that has been dented with the Swati Maliwal incident. As one of your guests has rightly pointed out, I think both of them pointed out earlier, that this time I think the Aam Aadmi Party and its leader, Arvind Kejriwal himself, has not been able to handle it that well, or they were taken by surprise. In fact, what happened, what actually transpired, obviously, no one is particularly aware or does not want to speak about it. And there is, apart from that, this particular incident that took place earlier, there is also the issue that we have been talking about. The last time also Mr. Verma addressed it. And that is, if you see what I was trying to make a point in my earlier comment also. Yeah, if you take a look, the present Congress president, the state Delhi president, who has replaced the earlier who quit Congress, and this is not the first time, and went to the BJP, he was against the alliance with Aam Aadmi Party. Now, this particular person who has now come as the president in charge of Delhi Pradesh Committee, he was earlier in charge of Punjab. So now see the difference here. How there is a contradiction. This particular person in Punjab was talking against the AAP because it is not in alliance. The Congress is not in alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. But here, as soon as he takes over, he has to speak in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party. So all these issues together, if not the corruption charges as much or as such, but this particular incident of Swati Maliwal and this alliance that has happened right now, it's a kind of all enemies of enemy.
There's one thing which is being discounted. I'm not going to name the leader who during Madhya Pradesh assembly election actually told his cadre, "Soch lo agar Congress power mein aa gayi to tumhara kya hoga." And the impact was that the voting percentage of Bharatiya Janata Party jumped. So we are undermining the impact of the enemy, or the adversary, the Prime Minister Modi. Aam Aadmi Party's cadre and the Congress cadre should think, if the third time this happens to him, what will happen to you? So I think that should act as a glue. But right now, who has the advantage? If we summarize our discussion, we can arrive at the following conclusions. On division of non-minority votes, advantage Arvind Kejriwal. On brand image, it's advantage Prime Minister Narendra Modi. On freebies, Labharti, it's advantage Kejriwal. On anti-corruption, it's advantage Modi. There is no doubt about it. Big candidates, no clear winners. And ultimately, I would say that in Delhi, the election is around Kejriwal and Modi. It's not on little issues. It's not on issues which are directly connected with the citizens of Delhi. Isn't it, Brijesh?
Well, yes, and I think, but the thing is that it all depends on the kind of panic button which, Arvind Kejriwal presses in Aam Aadmi Party cadres and also the Congress Party, and the kind of cohesion, because that is the first thing which I started my arguments in the show, was that whether they will be able to create a chemistry or not. If they are able to create it, they will be able to dent BJP in 1 to 2 seats. If they are able to do it, Kejriwal will proclaim it as a big,
the ground issues are not making resonance, but we at News9 Live have done a ground report. We have done ground reporting. Delhi is going to vote tomorrow in the searing heat and elected 7 representatives for the parliament. Have a look at this ground report on preparations made by the Election Commission to ensure a smooth election process in the capital.
Election requires basically 3 elements: men, machine and material. The Commission has extended certain facilities for the senior citizens. Senior citizens for the purpose of election is considered 85 plus, and also persons with disabilities. They are 40% plus disability. Now, number one, they have been given the facility of postal ballot in the form of home voting. So those people can opt to vote from their home. 85 plus voters are close to 80,000. There are PWD voters 75,000 plus, right? Out of them, 5,500 have opted to vote from home. There is also, so rest of them want to come to the polling station and vote, right? And for them, from the Commission side, we provide them pick and drop facility. again as a special gesture. So whoever requests for a facility, they can request through our helpline, through an app called Saksham app, or approach our BLO, or call our control room. So they will be given the facility of being picked up from home and brought to the polling station, and they don't have to wait in the queue. They can directly go and vote, and then they'll be dropped back at home. We have volunteers deployed at all the polling locations. We have wheelchairs, more than 4,000 wheelchairs deployed all across Delhi. Yes, it is peak summer, and IMD had predicted a bit of intense heat wave, which is there all over. We have been reading about it. So at the commission level as well as at the R level, we have taken various measures. We had meetings with the stakeholders involved in trying to deal with this situation. Essentially, the arrangements or the enhanced arrangements involve setting up of polling near the polling stations, shaded areas properly covered, both for covering the queues which will be formed outside the polling station, also general waiting areas where people can wait for their turn. So those will be properly covered. And then we would also directed them to install air coolers or mist fans, whichever is available, so that that area, covered area, will have a reasonably decent temperature for people to wait. And second element is the drinking water. Most of our polling stations are located in schools, either government, private, MCD, except few of them non-school premises. Most of them have water coolers. We have taken a review.
Indian Meteorological Department has predicted severe heat wave or heat wave conditions on the day of polling in Delhi, but the Election Commission has made proper arrangements so that voters don't suffer due to the heat wave conditions in various polling booths. Right now we are at Kamraj Lane polling booth, and you can see proper arrangements have been made here. You can see the waiting area over here. First of all, I think few people will be sitting here, and then you can see the fans are there, and coolers will also be placed for people with disabilities. You can see these kind of arrangements are also made here. You can see a wheelchair over here. So if senior citizens and people with disabilities arrive here, then they will be escorted to the polling booth. Now, if you see this room will be a polling booth, and here people will come, fan is there and exhaust fan is there. Then they will be placing coolers as well. Now, for the first time, they have made arrangements for medical room as well. Paramedics will be placed here, and if anybody suffers with some issue because of heat wave conditions and the severe heat in Delhi, then paramedics will be placed here in this room. They will be here in this room and they can take care of you. So RO is also there for clean drinking water.
So that's all we have in this edition of Final Countdown. Do tune in at 9 p.m. on Monday for our show on the crucial election battleground of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you all for watching the Final Countdown.